In the comment section, someone asked, what is the budget and what is the amount of money a foreigner can use in Kenya, especially who comes from Africa? And this was a Nigerian asking. Now, if you are a foreigner, you are from Nigeria, you are from Burundi, Tanzania, Uganda, Ghana, South Africa, you'll want to live in Nairobi and you want to know exact money you'll carry when coming to live here. Now I'll give you all the details. Now I understand that if you're an African, your budget will be at least lower than someone coming from USA, UK, Canada, Australia. But if you are rich in Africa, then you can live in rich estates. Now for those Africans living in Nairobi, I'm going to tell you in terms of dollars how much you can spend. Now most of them, if you take a survey, you find that they live in Kilimani, Kileleshwa, for those ones who have money, and Parklands or Westlands. But majority of them are average, others are even below average. They live in Eastlands with other lower middle class Kenyans. Now for a Nigerian or any African coming to Nairobi, the rent you are supposed to pay if you want to live in a place like Kilimani, Kileleshwa, per month, prepare to pay something like $700 to $1,000. That's per month, rent alone. But if you want cheaper, slightly cheaper rent, you go to places like South B, South C, or Nairobi West, or even in Maradaima, even in Ngong, even Kasarani. In these estates, we have middle class people living there. The rent you are preparing to pay per month will be around $1,500, not $1,500, $150 to $300. That is rent amount per month. So on average, you must have something like $200 on rent alone. Now, if you cannot afford that, there are also estates for those ones without enough money, just slightly below average. We have places like Pipeline, Moja, Kayole. We have Kangemi, Githurai. These are estates for people who will be spending less than $150 per month on rent. And in these places, you'll find one bedroom house going for $70 per month. So if you have something like $100 per month, you'll comfortably live in these estates. So generally it depends on your pocket when it comes to rent, and I emphasize on rent because that is the most important thing in Nairobi. Once you solve that, other expenses are very few and less, and they're not costly. Now for an African, if you're not rich, you should have something like $300 per month on rent. And this one is someone who is going to rent a house per month. You know, here we pay rent per month, not per year. If you are going to stay in Airbnb, in Nairobi, prepare to have at least $20 per day, at least. So that means per month you'll use around $600, which is very expensive. It's better to live in Airbnb for a few weeks, then from there you look for a house to rent. So once you have solved that you remain with other expenses. So here's a list of expenses that you'll incur per month. We have internet. It is very cheap in Kenya. On internet, you'll spend something like $10 to $20 per month. It's very cheap. We have transport. It's also very cheap. We have several means of transport. We have boda boda, matatu, taxi is there, and many others. Even train is there. So on transport per month, you'll spend something like $30 to $50. Another expense you'll carry is electricity and water. This one, if you combine these two, you spend something like $20 to $40 maximum per month. And also you go for shopping, you are going to buy food and other items. Shopping per month is around $100 maximum for an average person. So if you include all these things, for those ones who are going to live in places like Pipeline, Embakasi, Utawala, those lower middle class, where rent is around $150 per month, or let's say $100, prepare to spend around $300 per month on everything. 300, that's when you're not saving anything. So if you have something like $300 to $500, you are sorted. For middle class, who are almost upper middle class, they are surviving, they are living in places like South B, South C, like Ngong, where rent is around $200 per month. The total amount you can spend per month, including other expenses, is around $500. If you are going to live in Kilimani and Kileleshwa, you are going to spend something like $1,000 to $1,500, because there even food is in hotels is more expensive. So it's upon you to choose which estate you're going to live, but in Nairobi there are estates for everyone. So in short, if you want to live on a very tight budget, you can come with $400 per month. That is enough in Nairobi. If you want to spend it slightly more, $700 per month. If you want to live as someone who has made it in life, you must come with something like $1,000 to $2,000. But in Nairobi, it's very difficult to survive on $100 to $200. You'll be struggling, especially $200. But once your money is around $400 and above, you'll comfortably live in Nairobi. So the only thing you have to sort is rent. From there, you can survive on limited budget on other things. So that is a budget for Africans. So if you are preparing, come with around $400 to $1,000 every month, and you'll enjoy your life in Nairobi. And even African Americans coming to Nairobi, if you have $1,500, that is enough to afford a lifestyle like the one you have in USA. Nairobi is a very good city, and when you live in Nairobi, when you come, even if it's 1 week, you will find yourself wanting to extend. The weather is too good, people are good, and there are so many activities you can do in the city. So if you have another question, you can ask in the comment section. We will answer. And if you have another comment, suggestion, and if you have any experience about Nairobi, you can also comment below and we'll see your experience.